Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. City News Everywhere reports that the Canadian federal government has announced an allocation of $8.6 million over 2 years, specifically designated to bolster Black communities' access to legal services across the nation. This significant funding initiative will provide support to 24 organizations nationwide. These groups are instrumental in offering crucial assistance, including navigating the complexities of the justice system, implementing programs tailored for youth, and delivering culturally appropriate supports for Black individuals. Health Minister Marjorie Michel officially delivered this announcement in Montreal. The government's stated objective for this investment is to actively work towards reducing instances of over-policing and to effectively address the persistent issue of overrepresentation of Black people within Canada's justice system. The Montreal St. Michel Legal Clinic, for example, is slated to receive over $290,000, and the Black Coalition of Quebec has expressed its satisfaction with the federal government's commitment to reducing the number of incarcerated Black individuals. The Canadian press reports that Ontario hospitals are implementing job cuts in recent months as they struggle with significant financial deficits. With nearly 3/4 of hospitals forecasting shortfalls, facilities like the Ottawa Hospital and London Health Sciences Centre have announced workforce reductions, often through attrition or not filling vacant positions. The Ontario Hospital Association had stated that the $1.1 billion funding boost from the government this year was less than half of what was truly needed. Health Minister Sylvia Jones defends the budget balancing exercise, emphasizing a focus on frontline patient care. However, critics including Liberal and NDP members, along with the Ontario Nurses Association president, argue that these cuts will inevitably harm patient care and highlight what they see as misplaced government priorities. The Canadian press reports that a legal clinic in Montreal's low-income St. Michel neighborhood announced that $6 million in federal grants will soon be distributed to Black communities across Canada to help address systemic racism. Federal Health Minister Marjorie Michel unveiled the plan, explaining that the funding, part of the government's Black Justice Strategy introduced in 2024, aims to reduce over-policing and tackle the disproportionate representation of Black individuals in the justice system. The money, to be spread across 24 projects nationwide, will provide trauma-informed and culturally appropriate assistance for court preparations. The St. Michel Clinic, mandated to support victims of racial profiling, will receive over $290,000 over 2 years, making it Quebec's sole recipient from this initiative. Fernando Belton, the clinic's executive director, highlighted the urgent need for tools to navigate a justice system where Black people are more likely to face targeting and punishment, referencing a 2019 study revealing that Montreal police stop Black individuals 4.2 times more often. According to the Canadian press, Enbridge Inc. has secured federal approval for its $4 billion Sunrise natural gas pipeline expansion project in British Columbia. This undertaking involves adding nearly 140 kilometers of new pipe, creating 11 looping segments parallel to the existing West Coast system, which connects gas fields in northeastern BC and northwestern Alberta to the Canada-US border. The expansion will boost the system's capacity by 300 million cubic feet per day, with some of the additional gas expected to be exported via liquefied natural gas (LNG) facilities. Enbridge executive Matthew Ackman welcomed the approval, noting a greater sense of purpose from Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal government towards energy exports, but stressed the need for a faster review process. Natural Resources Minister Tim Hodgson and BC Premier David Eby lauded the project for strengthening energy security, creating jobs, and bolstering Canada's role as an energy superpower. However, Alex Walker of Environmental Defence Canada condemned the decision as a disastrous climate decision, prioritizing fossil fuel growth over climate commitments. Construction is slated to begin this summer, with the target startup in late 2028. in alliance of 36 First Nations, already holds a 12.5% ownership stake in the existing pipeline and has an option for equity in the expansion. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.